So today we'll be starting with advanced conditional formatting. We'll be doing this topic today. So yesterday we had covered all those predefined conditional formatting rules which was available to us in home tab. See, we worked on all these things. So today we'll see how to give a formatting rule, conditional formatting rule using your own formula, because these requirements are not available to us in the predefined rules that we have in the system. So I have taken few examples here. Let me zoom the screen. So you can check here. Highlight cells with non-numeric data. So within this range, if I select, I have to first select all those cells where I have to apply the conditional formatting. And over here, you see, I need to select, I mean to say, I need to highlight all those cells which are non-numeric. Now, when I say non-numeric, it could be text, alphanumeric, or some other symbols as well. But it should not be a number. That's it. So then we can use this particular formula. I have written the formulas for you. So you can see here we are going to use is text, and we are going to create a rule for it in the conditional formatting. After selecting the cells, go here, select new rule. See, we have worked yesterday on these kind of rules. So whatever you did, highlight cell rules, top or bottom, data bar, these things. So here I'll choose use a formula to determine which cells to format. And here I'm going to provide the formula. I'll say is text of this particular cell. So you need to choose only one of the cells. See, you have already decided where exactly this condition has to be applied. In that selection, you should choose the starting cell. That's more than enough. And that will be applied on all the other cells in your selection. Right, close this. I'll give a format over here. See here, the format that I would like to provide is, I'm going to choose a particular color. Let's say I'll choose this and say OK. And OK again. You can see all those cells which had non-numeric data, all those are highlighted. Now let us change the values and check. Now I'll go here, I'll change it to a number. See, the formatting is removed. And over here, I'll give some text value, or let me show you with some symbol. It is going to highlight. So whatever value you provide, and if it is a non-numeric value, that will get highlighted within this range. Okay, just give me a second. So the next example is highlight only weekends. So even before I do this, let me make sure I have selected these cells over here. And copy this and paste it as formulas. So now I have it. Now I have to choose, or I have to make only those cells highlighted which have weekends. So which are going to be weekends. I need to highlight only those cells. So how to identify a given date, whether it is going to be Saturday or Sunday? See, let's take today's date. We don't know which day is today, correct? So in Excel, so here to find out, we'll say weekday. Weekday is a function which will return value from 1 to 7, saying 1 indicates Sunday, 7 indicates Saturday. Okay. In between, you have other numbers indicating other weekdays like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Suppose the output of, you know, the weekday function for this date was 1 or 7, then I have to highlight those cells. That's the idea we are using here. And that is how I have given the function here. See what we'll do? If the given, so I'll give that here. I'm going to say weekday function output should be either 1 or weekday function output should be 7. So to OR it, we have OR function again. So within this OR function, I'm going to give those two weekday conditions, weekday function conditions. I'll say this should be equal to 1, comma, again, the next weekday function. I'll select the same cell. I'll say this should be equal to 7. If it is going to be either 1 or 7, this will show me true as the answer. So let me give a value. Say today is, let me give 9. See, ninth is Saturday or Sunday? It is Saturday. You can see here in the calendar. It's Saturday. So if I gave 10th, even then it will show me true because it is Sunday. Only for Saturday and Sunday, I would like to see this. So I'm going to use this OR function in my conditional formatting rule. To provide a rule, I'm going to use this function. Now let's see. See, again, you have to always remember whatever formula you use to provide conditional formatting should be in a way giving an output of a logical value like true or false, or it should give an output in numbers, that is 0 or any other positive numbers. So 0 is considered as false and rest of them as true. Okay. So now again, we'll go here, we'll try to give the same function we tried now, or of weekday. Be careful about the spellings because it doesn't show you the list of formulas here. So within this, I select this cell. You need to remove dollars. Keep pressing F4, the dollar will be removed. Just say equal to 1. Again, give weekday. Select this. Remove dollars. This time it is for 7. And just quickly go and apply the format that you want to see on it. I'll give this. See, even if I give another date, let's say I'll just give this. See, I'll make it 10. We know it is Sunday. 10th May is Sunday. So you'll see that over here. Okay. So this is that example. And the next example here, see, we are trying to find out the name present over here. See, in the list available to us, we have some names here. As soon as I enter the name of that person, the entire row of that particular person should be highlighted for me. And if I change the name, the other name should get highlighted. Whichever name I type here, that name's entire row should be highlighted for me. So you understand here, you need to only select the cells which have to be colored or highlighted in any way you want. And then go to conditional formatting, just a new rule. And again, we are going to take up this formula. Say this time equals, see whatever value is given in this cell, it has to be in dollars because the same cell has to be compared with all the other cells over here in the selection that we gave. So it has to be kept absolute. Equals this cell. Again, over here, I need to keep only the column as absolute. The reason is, see, whatever name I type here is present only in this column. So I need to compare the value of this cell only with the values present in the first column over here, not with the other cells. So what I'll do, I'll give dollar on h. H is the column. So I'll make the column absolute. Next, I'll choose a color. Let me take border this time. I'll just take this color border. That should be the outline for me. And let's say the font also should be bold and the color should be the same color as the border. I'm trying to format it in a different way, guys. And just say okay. So now, since we have not given any name, nothing is changing here. Just go and give a name that is present here. I'll say Bob. You can see here, these cells have been highlighted in a different way altogether. It's different from what is there in the other rows. And let me change the name. This time I'll give Ivan. Can you see this? Now let me apply a color as well. I'm going to edit this, select the range again. To make it more evident, I want to change the color also. So I'll go to manage rules, edit the rule. So over here, I want to change the format. I would like to provide a fill color like this one. Just say okay. Now you can see here. See now, if I change the name to Carl, so this is how it finds out where exactly the values are present so that you can make it out. Okay. So these were the examples to show you how to highlight a particular cell value using conditional formatting. uh, Okay, and also how to use formulas to get it done. So these three examples were taken for that. If you
And
have,
it will be case sensitive, right now.
see, the next example is how to create patterns using conditional formatting. See, there are many instances wherein you can find you have to color alternate rows or color every three rows at once. So there could be some conditions like this, scenarios like this you might have faced, wherein going and giving those colors manually takes a lot of time. So using conditional formatting is going to be a tricky one. So it's a nice trick to use, and your work gets done faster. Okay. So here we are trying to highlight alternate rows in the first example. So I'll teach you all these three at once, and then we'll take up your doubts. So I don't want anyone to interrupt in this part because it will confuse others as well. Okay. So here I'll select. So we have a function mod. See, mod is going to give us an output like this. If I divide 2, uh, let's say 6 by 7, so you have 0. So point thing. Again, let me say I divide a number 8 by 3. So there will be a reminder. It doesn't divide it completely because it's not the multiple of it. So in that case, you get a reminder. This mod function is used to get a reminder. So, and we have another function here, row number. And this row number is what we are using here. Don't worry about the numbers present inside this. So it can have any value, not only numbers, anything can be present in this particular cell selection. We are not going to use the values present here. We are only bothered about the row numbers of the cells that we are selecting. We are trying to divide the row number of the cells that we have by 2 because I want two results. Mod function will give me 0 if it is completely divisible by 2. It gives me 1 if it has a remainder. So 2, why did we choose 2? See, any number we choose to divide to be in the place of a denominator, the remainder will not exceed it. See, if I divide any number by 2, remainder cannot exceed 2. You understand? It could be any big number, but if you are dividing it by 2, it will finally give you 1 as the remainder if it is not completely divisible. If it is completely divisible, it will give you 0 as the answer. So if you are dividing some number by 3, then the remainders will be 0, 1, 2. See, if you are dividing a number by 2, it will be 0, 1. You have to remember these things. So for 0, see, if the remainder is 0, then it is considered as false. I told you, any function or formula which the output of that, if it is 0, then it is considered as false. So if false is the output, conditional formatting is not applied. Only the condition is true, then formatting is applied. So using this concept, we are trying to highlight alternate rows over here. So let's go here, take new rule, use a formula to determine which cells to format. I'm going to use that function over there. Mod of row. See, row is a function which gets me the row number of a cell. So comma 2 equal to 0. See, I will not give equal to 0 in the first case. I'll tell you when to use it. I'll remove this equal to 0. Just say format. I'll give, let's take this color or this one. Just say okay. See, let me show you the headings so you'll understand it better. You look at this. What's the row number? It is 6. So for 6, when you divide it by 2, remainder will be 0. So this row is not colored. The next row is 7. It is not completely divisible by 2. It leaves a remainder of 1. So this row is highlighted. So likewise, you can see all the alternate rows have been colored. Now suppose I want to color these rows in a different color. I don't want to leave them blank. Then I'm going to say the same function and an extra equal to 0. I'll mention the output of mod should be equal to 0, then apply the format. So just go here, conditional formatting, just a new rule. Again, we are going to use the same function here, mod of row function, comma 2 equal to 0. And we give another color that has to be applied there. Just say okay. See, you can see both the rows are highlighted in two different colors. Even rows in a different color, odd rows in a different color. So this is used to create patterns. You can do the same with columns as well. If you have to highlight different columns, instead of row function, you can also use column function, and it will work in the same manner. Okay. Now here, using conditional formatting, I want to create a chessboard pattern. See how exactly a chessboard looks like. Every cell in the chessboard is in an alternate color. See, if one is black, the other is white. Every alternate cell is of different color. So I have to create such a pattern. We are going to use is odd row number plus column number. I'll tell you how it works. Now let me make a copy of this data and I'll show you how it works for us. See over here, I will use row function. See, row function. This will get me the row number. You can check here. This is the 23rd row number and we have the same answer over here. And next I'll drag this. to the other cells. And over here, I'll provide column function. And I'll copy paste this to other cells. Now the logic is, if I add row number with the column number, I get a number. So 23 plus 7 will be 30. I am going to check whether it is odd. If it is odd, this function will give me true. If it is even, it gives me false. So 30 is not odd, so this will not be colored. Next cell, it will be 31, so this will be colored. Next cell, it will be 32. It is not odd, so this is not going to be colored. So likewise, you can see every alternate cell gets a different color using this logic. Now let me show you by applying it. I just wanted to show you how the logic is applied. Let's go here. I'll select the cells where the format needs to be applied. Select only those cells which you want to see colored. So don't select anything else like heading and the cell below where we have provided formula. We don't require those to be colored. So next, take new rule, and over here use a formula to determine. So choose that option and provide the function. You can also use is even. I have just taken is odd as example. You can also use is even function. So you need to add it, row number plus column number, and close it. So don't forget to give these parentheses, blank parentheses. Unless and until you provide them, they will be considered as text. See, they are function names. Okay, for that you need to provide the braces, open and closing braces. So next, I want to format it like this. So with the black color, font should be white color. I'll choose this. Just say okay. See, I want the cell to look like this. I'm getting the preview. I want to see the cell in that manner. So I'll get the chessboard pattern. Likewise, we have another example as well. Highlight group of 4 rows. See, this was alternate rows. You could also check for alternate columns. See, here we have worked on alternate cells, but here the example is a slightly different, but on the same logic of highlighting these alternate rows. Okay, so here what they're asking us to do is highlight group of 4 rows. So when they mean group of 4 rows, it's like this. So you need to select like this. I'm going to use mod function again. Conditional formatting, new rule, the last option. Here I'm going to use the same mod function, mod of row number, comma 5. I'll tell you why we took 5, and I'll say format. I want to fill it, let's say, with this color. See, group of 4 rows have been highlighted. So how are we getting that? See, if I use 5 in the 5 as the number for dividing the row numbers, so the remainder for 5 will be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So only these can be the reminders if you divide any number by 5. So for 0, you don't get any color. 1, 2, 3, 4 is where you get the color. Depending on the row number, you can see the format has been applied. The first cell is 6, so it is not completely divisible by 5, so it is colored. 7 also, 8, 9, but 10th row, yes, 10 is completely divisible by 5, so 0 will be the result for mod function. That's the reason you don't see any uh, color applied over here. So the same thing follows. For every 4 rows, color is applied. The fifth row, color is not applied. So next topic is something similar to pattern creation, but not exactly. This is more dynamic in nature. See here, this concept is known as shading. I'll tell you, we want to perform something like this. I have some zone names and I want to rank them. Based on the rank I provide, so this should be the other way. Based on the rank and zone name I provide for that particular rank, see over here, I'll mention the zone name. So that zone name should be colored in a particular way. So if it is given the first rank, the color of that zone, wherever it applies. So not only in these two rows, if it is repeating somewhere else, in all those places, the entire row should be colored in that particular color that we provide. So here, let me provide colors to these ranks. I'll just go here and say the first one should be of this color. Next, go here and choose this one. And here, choose red. Red is too harsh on eyes. So let's take blue. So here you can start giving the zone names. So let me give this STATE 1, say India, and let's say be careful with the spellings, because if it doesn't match, again it's not going to color for you. Only if the spellings match, it's going to work. Now after we have provided this, now I'm going to select all those cells which needs to be colored based on the condition we apply. See, there are three rules that we have to apply. First rule for the rank 1, second rule for rank 2, and third rule for rank 3. For each rank, I have to apply the rules separately. Let me go here. Again, new rule. Take this. Use a formula to determine. I'm going to use a simple if condition over here. Just say equals if this cell value. See, keep it absolute, is equal to this cell value. And again, we have the zone names only in this column. We don't have the zone names in any other cell. So I'll keep only the column absolute. Row, I'll remove the absolute symbol, that is dollar, I'm going to remove on the row reference. So if it is equal to this cell, then true is the answer that I want to provide, or false. If it is not equal, then it should be false. Just create a copy this function. You cannot use keyboard keys here. You need to use the mouse and copy it. So I have copied it. Now I want to give the color. So now we have assigned colors. I'm going to use the same color to be provided. You can see we have mentioned state 1. So for state 1, you see that color. Again, we have to get the colors for other ranks. I'll just go select that again. Again, go to conditional formatting, new rule. So we had already copied the formula. I'll paste the same. See, M8, only this will change. M8 will change to M9 and the color. Rest all is same. So just to create it quickly, I used it. You can also type the formulas, but this is going to save your time. And paste it. See, this one has to change to M10 and the color to this, and just say okay. So now you go and change the rank over here, color will change. So over here I'll say state 3, You see? So based on the zone names you provide for particular rank, so the rows where the same data is present, all those rows will be highlighted. Now let me show you. I type India over here. You can see the color is applied over there as well. So wherever you see the same zone name, all those rows will be highlighted using this shading concept. So not much difference. So if you have understood this part, so something similar has happened over there. Here we are trying to highlight only a single row. So there we have given for multiple things and it keeps changing dynamically. So that's the thing. See the same thing if you want to get it applied for columns as per Nitin's request. See, I'll remove the conditional formatting from entire sheet. I just want to show you for month names. Let's say I'll remove the old values over here. So let's say I'll rank June 16. So you have to give the values exactly the way it is present over there. You could also copy paste in that case. Okay, whichever is favorable to you, so you can use it. So don't worry about the format getting changed. So nothing to worry. If the values are equal, it is anyway going to highlight. So let us check if the values are equal. If it isn't, just go and change it. So it is not equal. So what you can do is just copy this value, paste it over here. So that, yeah, see, it says 1st June. So it better you copy paste it from here instead of typing so that you will get the exact value and it will match properly. Later you can apply the format also. Say values and number formats. So that would be better. I'll remove the borders also. Yes. Now it's fine. So now based on the values that we have provided, we are going to highlight the columns instead of rows. So let's go here. Select all those, only the columns that you want to highlight. See here, I don't want the zone and drug to get highlighted. We are choosing month names over there. I'll only choose columns that has got months along with the month name. See, along with the header, I have to choose. Only then it will take. So here I'll go for this. Just say conditional formatting. New rule. Now take this. You can say equals if this cell value is equal to cell over here, but keep the row absolute. Only the row, we are comparing values present over here with the values present at the topmost row of our data. So just keep the row absolute and give the same true, false. So if it is not equal, it should give us false. If it is equal, it should give us true as the answer. I'll make a copy of this. I'll choose a color, the same that belongs to rank 1, and just say okay. You can see June 16 is highlighted in that. Next, anyways, we have a copy of this same function. Keep the data selected, go back, just copy paste the formula, change the input cell to this one and the format to yellow, and it works. Again, go back, new rule, choose this, paste it, change the input cell to Jan 16, this one. Sorry. Yeah. And we need to select this cell. Once we are done with it, see, you can see here. So if I change the month name, I'll copy this, I'll paste it over here. Instead of June 16, I'll give it here. You can see it will change. Is it clear, Nitin?
Yeah,
Okay.
And
See, the next topic I'm going to take up is number formatting. How to apply number formatting. So let's take this. So you can see here. So let me come to this part again. Yeah. So you can see here some numbers are formatted in a particular way. Now let me clear these number formats and keep it as general. I want to show you what is the importance of them. So if you are looking at the screen currently, you can see here we have various columns which has got numbers in them. So this is not a this is not a text, it is also a number. Okay. We have something like this. See, if there is no unit present, so if we are not mentioning whether it is an amount, it's a count, or it's some measure that we are trying to display here, so the number doesn't have any meaning unless and until you provide it. So you must have also seen people will go and provide it kgs, or let's say ml or kilometers, anything that applies over here in the bracket. They would not provide it beside the number because it becomes a text. That's their assumption. Now let me show you how to give text along with the number and still keep it as a number only. See, number formatting is the appearance that you want to provide to your number. You're not exactly changing its value. Now let me show you here. See, the exact value of a given number over here will not change by applying some format on it. Now let me show you how to give some text. See, if you type it, you will be able to see that in the formula bar. This is not a number anymore. It is now text. And I cannot perform any math operation on that. So we don't want like this. So we want a format to be applied so that the number appears like 5563 kilograms, or whatever measure you like to give, kilometers or liters or milliliters, so something like this. Whatever measure that you want to display can be displayed without having to change the value of it. Let me show you that. Select the numbers on which you want to apply the format. Either you can go to home tab and choose this number formatting from here, or you could also use control 1. Control 1 is the shortcut key for applying format on cells. So you did this now for applying border and all those things. Currently I want you to use it to change the number format. I'll directly take you to this custom. You can also use the number formats that are available here. Now currently the example that I am trying to show you is not there in any of these. So I'll go to custom, I'll choose here. I'll choose 0. See, 0 is used to represent any number without decimals. It can be any number. I want to represent that using 0. So it's a format code that we are providing here. I'll just say 0, give a space, and what text that you want to see beside the number. Give that in double quotes. I'll give double quotes. I'll say at this time, let's give square feet. I'll remove this. I am trying to provide an area. Okay, I'll give this. Just you can also see the change that took place in the sample as well. See here it is displaying 5563 square feet. Just say okay. You can see here all these numbers are displayed. And when you select that number, you can observe here in the formula bar, the value has not changed. The number's appearance has changed in the cell, that's all. Okay. So by applying number format, don't assume the value is going to be affected. Only how exactly the number is being displayed to the user is going to change. Nothing else. Now, if this was to apply some, give some text, so let me show you whether it is still behaving like a number. So if I apply sum on it, you can see it still works. So this is, I have to copy the format, then it will work. Is it clear? So, so this is how you can provide text along with the number. You can display it and still treat it as a number only. And the next part, sales. See, sales is usually an amount. We represent an amount either by providing a thousand separator, just like this. You can go choose this comma. You can see this number changed the way it was appearing. But you can see that in the formula bar, the value has not changed at all. Now, thousand separator is fine. It's going to denote that it is a number, but let's say I want to show the currency as well. See, just by giving a comma, two decimal places, we understand it's an amount. But what value does it have? Rupee has a different value, yen has a different value, euros, dollars. So again, in dollars, you have so many other countries' dollars. So value of that will change based on the symbol you choose to display along with it. Now, I would like to display this as dollars, let's say. Click on it, it will appear automatically. So very simple to change the format. Suppose I don't want dollars, I want to display a rupee symbol. Now go here. If it is not available in the list, you can choose more accounting formats and you can choose the symbol from the drop down over here. So you just have to search for it. If it is there, you will get it. If it is not there, you have to install and use it. So we have it for rupee symbol. See, we got it. Just say okay. It will change to rupee symbol. And if you want to display your date in so many different ways, let's say I would like to see that particular date in month, day, and year format, or day, month, and year format, or let's say year in the beginning, or only year, only month name. So there are so many different ways you can display your date. I will show you all those things over here. Just select the cells where the values are present. So values that are equivalent to a date. So that you have to make a note of it. Not just any other number. You cannot convert any other number to a date. Okay. Select this. You go to more number formats, or you could also go to this window by clicking custom. Just give me a second, guys. It's raining heavily here. Just give me 1 minute. My laptop is getting drenched. See, currently your doubt is it is showing for every thousand it is giving you a comma. You want to use Indian number system, wherein
Exactly.
after 1000 for 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh. So it is going to be displayed like this, correct? Okay,
Yes,
for
ma'am.
that, you
Exactly.
have to go and change the settings in your system. The regional settings, have you heard of it?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I'll show you that. You have to go to control panel, or you can also take settings from here. So you have to go to system, or you could also search from here. Just say regional, region settings. See here it says country or region as United States. Just choose India here, and over here as well. Just choose India. Okay, we only have these many. So, yeah, click on it. So it is saying some apps may need to be opened and closed to see the update. But if you go and change here, it will see, click on it. So this is showing us date difference. So how exactly your date has to be displayed. So even for the currency, it is going to apply. So only thing is I have to reopen. I mean restart my system. The changes will be applied. You can apply changes. See here it says number formats. So you have to go to additional settings. It says number of digits after decimal. Digit grouping symbol is comma. Digit grouping is like this. As soon as I changed it to India, you can see the way it is grouping the digits is different. See after every thousand, so we have 10,000, 1 lakh. So you can change it based on the country that you provide here. And just say okay and close this. So you can see here it has changed to our Indian format now. You have to make changes to the regional settings in order to see it. Is that clear?
Thanks a lot.
Okay. So now let me show you how to apply formats to a date. Let me select this. Again, control 1. You get the custom format. See over here, you remove this general. You remove this and you keep looking at the sample. As and when I type the letters, you just observe the sample here, how it changes. I give 1D, gives me the day part of the date. Another D, 2 digits. Another D, day, the weekday. So whether it is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So again, it's giving us only the half name. Now I'll give another D. Gives me full week name, like Friday. Suppose I only want to display the week name of a date, I can leave it at this point. Now I want to continue with it. I'll give a space. I'll again give D. This is the day part of the date. Again, you can use comma, slash, hyphen, these things as the separator here. So I'll use comma and I'll just say MM. This gives me the month number. Another M, half name of the month. Another M gives me full name of the month. So I'll give space. I would like to see 2 digits of the year, another 2 digits. So you'll see the complete date in this manner. Along with this, if you want to display time, you can provide that also. You can say HH colon MM colon SS. So if at all you have some timestamp to be given, you can use such formats to display. Okay, so since we don't have any time here, I'll remove it. Just say okay. I'll increase the column width. You can see the date is displayed like this. So only to display the week name, you will give 3 Ds or 4 Ds. The day part of the date, 2 Ds. For month, half name of the month, 3 Ms. month number 2 M's. Okay, full name of the month 3, that is 4 M's you have to provide. Same thing goes to year as well. 2 digits, another 2 digits. So you have to mention why so many times. You can use it to format your date and display it in any manner you want. And coming to this part, see, always your percentage values will be less than 1. 1 means 100%. Any decimal value, if I have to display it as a percentage, just select all those. So you have this percentage symbol over here in the number group. Click on it, you'll get it. Okay. Okay, the next topic, I'll just take a topic which we can clear it now. I'll take comments. So tomorrow I'll cover the data tools and data validation. It requires some time. I'll just cover this topic for the day. So here we'll see how to insert images within your comments. So any image can be inserted. So this is going to be really attractive if you're using in your dashboards, or let's say you want to, instead of PPT, you want to show something in your Excel. You can always go for these options. Now, in Office 365, there are no comments appear in a different manner, and the way it used to appear in our older versions, they are known as notes. Okay, comments are different and notes are different in Office 365. So let me show you the difference. So if I go to review tab and say new comment, comment appears like this with the ID of my system, and whatever I give here, it will be stored with the ID that I have provided. This is one thing. Now if I say notes, I'll say new note, it will appear like this. This used to be the comment in our previous versions. In the current version, this is known as notes. So if you're still using previous versions, you can insert a comment only. It looks like a box like this. Now let's see what are the steps to insert an image within the comment. Now once you have drawn this comment box, select it in such a way that currently the cursor is blinking inside. So if you select it on the edges of the sizing handles, so these small squares that you see here, they are known as sizing handles to increase or decrease the size of the comment. Now just near to that, click on it. This cross-headed arrow will appear. Just click on it. Now you can see the cursor is not blinking. So this is essential. This is how you have to select in order to get those options. After you have selected it, right click, click on format comment, choose that. You will get this window. See this window, we are going to choose colors and lines. And over here we have color, we have line. So I'll remove line. We don't want any border to our image. So I'll remove line. And in place of color, so if you go to fill effects, so there is some option known as fill effects. I choose that, and in fill effects you have picture. You need to select that option, and you have option to select a picture that you want to insert. Select it. You can also insert pictures from online, or you can choose to insert with if you have images in your system ready. So you can select it from here. I'll just select one of them. I'll choose this Excel logo. Let's say insert and say okay. See, you can size it to make it look better. You can insert any image you want in this manner, and whenever you hover your mouse on that, it will display the image for you. So not only giving some text, you can also use it to give some image like this. So comments can be used for this purpose also. Okay.